Honest Advent, Chapter 21, Breaking. Isaiah 7:14. The virgin will conceive and give birth to a son, and will call him Emmanuel. I remember when my daughter Elsa, named before the Disney movie Frozen, came out of her mama. I was standing next to my wife when it happened. 2 years earlier, our first son, Anders, was born Frank Breech, meaning he was head up instead of head down, and one leg was doing a high kick while the other one pointed toward the exit. This in utero twister move made his birth a mandatory candidate for a C-section. Elsa was healthy and head down, which made her a perfect candidate for a VBAC, vaginal birth after cesarean. So many medical terms. The labor was slow and long, and we visited the hospital a few times, only to be asked to go home and wait until my wife was fully dilated. When we were finally admitted for the birth, Holly had been in labor for a couple of days and was completely exhausted. I remember being in the delivery room. I was holding my wife's hand and her right leg while the doctor called out the play-by-play. The head crowned. It was time for the last push. Push, the doctor called out, and my wife breathed through the pain. Elsa came out into the hands of the doctor, and we saw her for the first time. Then we looked at each other and instantly burst into tears. I remember the action being involuntary, as if I had witnessed something that could only be expressed in the breaking of my socially conformed demeanor. It was one of the most wonderful experiences I've had in my life. To finally see what you've hoped for so long is a breaking experience. It's a healing breaking, like cracking your back, or hearing a sad song that breaks your heart in solidarity, or witnessing a sappy commercial that somehow tickles your emotions and then you apologize to your friends on the couch for getting teary-eyed over it. We get emotional because we are witnessing something true. Not true as an ideological list we used to draw lines and make teams, but something true that unites us. A moment of solidarity, a connective happening that awakens us to see that we are not alone. Like when a group of strangers is unanimously filled with joy as they watch fireworks together, or when someone shares a tasty dish with someone else and says, "You must try this, it's so good." Or when a newborn baby enters the room and everyone turns and looks because they know they are witnessing the magic of someone seen who just came from the unseen. I wonder what broke in the room with Mary and Joseph. Probably tear ducts, because that happens to parents. But could it also have been the wall between ideology and incarnation? The culture they lived in was layered with centuries of prophecy and expectation regarding who the Messiah was supposed to be and what it was all supposed to look like. And yet, here they were, being confronted with the real truth of that prophecy, that the hope of restoration had moved from words to presence. It wasn't just ideas, it was real. It must have been a healing breaking to hold that child and realize that the words of restoration paled in comparison to the physical presence of restoration. Isn't that what we've been hoping for this Advent? The breaking of the wall between ideology and incarnation, from words to real. Unfortunately, we don't get the newborn Christ child in the arms of Mary, but I offer you the image of it, because that image points us to the universal truth of restoration, that the invitation is to move from words to presence. Maybe it's our presence that needs to be broken open this Advent. Instead of adding more of our words to the centuries of expectations of what this is all supposed to do and be, maybe we need to reach out and hold what needs to be restored in our hands, like people, or broken hearts, or systems, or perspectives, or beliefs, or policies, or our dashed hopes for a brighter tomorrow. To finally see what you have hoped for so long is a breaking experience. Our deepest hope is that God is truly with us in all this. That's what Christmas is meant to celebrate. But could it be that God has been with us in all this already? God has just been waiting for us to move from words to presence so we can join God there. May you believe in the gift of your presence, and may you bring that gift of presence to God's ongoing work of restoration.